Welcome to our channel. Today we delve into the fascinating yet tragic life of Sue Lyon, the young actress whose career skyrocketed with her iconic role in Stanley Kubrick's Lolita. Behind the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, Lyon's life was riddled with heartbreak, scandal, and controversy. From her meteoric rise to stardom at just 14 to the personal struggles and shocking revelations that followed her throughout her life, Sue Lyon's story is one of both triumph and tragedy. Stay with us as we uncover the highs and lows of her extraordinary yet turbulent journey. Sue Lyon, called Sue, was born on July 10, 1946 in Davenport, Iowa. Was an American actress best remembered for her iconic portrayal of Lolita in Stanley Kubrick's 1962 adaptation of Vladimir Nabokov's controversial novel. Her performance in the film earned her a Golden Globe Award and cemented her place in cinematic history. Sue Lyon's love life was filled with turmoil, but her involvement with Lolita remained the most unsettling chapter of her story. After her passing, musician and close friend Michelle Phillips revealed shocking secrets about Lyon's troubled past that no one had anticipated. At just 14, Lyon became a controversial icon, portraying Vladimir Nabokov's infamous character Lolita in Stanley Kubrick's 1962 adaptation of the novel. The role propelled her into stardom, but also brought irreparable damage to her life. Although Vladimir Nabokov initially believed Sue Lyon was the perfect choice to portray Lolita in Stanley Kubrick's 1962 film adaptation, he later expressed a different opinion. Nabokov revealed that his ideal choice would have been Catherine de Mongeau, a French actress known for her role as Zazie in Louis Malle's Zazie in the Metro, 1960. De Mongeau, more tomboyish in appearance and 4 years younger than Lyon, might have aligned more closely with the novel's depiction of the character. In Nabokov's book, Lolita is a 12-year-old girl, prepubescent and flat-chested. Sue Lyon, by contrast, was 14 to 15 during most of the production and just shy of her 16th birthday when the film premiered. Standing at 5 feet 3 inches with a developed figure, Lyon differed significantly from Nabokov's description of Lolita as low, plain low in the morning, standing 4 feet 10 in one sock. Kubrick and producer James B. Harris chose to cast an older actress with a more mature appearance to navigate the strictures of the production code, which required female characters perceived as sexualized to look of age. Despite raising the character's age and modifying elements of Nabokov's story, the film remained one of the most controversial of its time. Critics and audiences were unsettled by the abusive relationship at the heart of the story, even with Kubrick's efforts to soften its impact. Harris admitted that Lyon was chosen deliberately to ensure the audience would see her as a definite sex object, a portrayal that, in his words, aimed to make the film feel more like a love story and garner sympathy for the character of Humbert Humbert. Ironically, just months after Lolita premiered, the Hays Code was amended in October 1962 to allow sex aberrations on screen. By then, Kubrick's adaptation had already made its mark, both for its bold choices in casting and for the enduring controversy it stirred. Sue Lyon's journey to stardom began in a world far removed from the fame and controversy she would later face. Born into a family struck by tragedy, she lost her father when she was only 10 months old, leaving her family in financial hardship. Determined to support her family, Lyon began working as a model at the age of 11. Her mature and striking appearance set her apart from other child models, which prompted her mother to move the family to Los Angeles in search of brighter opportunities. Despite her natural allure, breaking into Hollywood proved to be a challenge. Lyon spent her early years in the industry with a little success, managing to land only two small roles, one on The Loretta Young Show and another on Dennis the Menace. Her big break came seemingly by chance when she was cast as Dolores Hayes in Stanley Kubrick's adaptation of Vladimir Nabokov's controversial novel, Lolita. The casting decision, however, sparked immediate interest and debate. Nabokov's story explored the unsettling relationship between a man and a 12-year-old girl, making it one of the most controversial literary works of its time. The film adaptation, which Kubrick hoped would temper the novel's divisive subject matter, demanded a careful balance in its lead actress. Hundreds of young performers auditioned for the coveted role, but Kubrick's decision to cast Lyon, who was 14 at the time of production, made waves. Kubrick had noticed Lyon's performance in The Loretta Young Show and was struck by her combination of youthful innocence and maturity. The announcement of her casting was met with intense media scrutiny, with fans and critics divided over the choice. While some applauded the boldness of casting such a fresh face in a demanding role, others expressed concern over the implications of placing a young actress in a story as provocative as Lolita. When the film premiered, Lyon's performance received widespread acclaim, with critics praising her ability to bring complexity and charm to the character. American journalist Bosley Crowther described her work as remarkable, while others noted how her portrayal gave the film its emotional and controversial edge. Fans were captivated by her presence, and the media hailed her as a new Hollywood sensation. Her role in Lolita earned her a Golden Globe for Most Promising Female Newcomer, cementing her place in cinematic history. However, the fame that followed came at a cost. Lyon's association with Lolita and the controversy surrounding the film became inseparable from her identity, creating immense pressure for the young actress. While her talent brought her into the spotlight, the role's provocative nature left a lasting impact on her life and career, shaping both her image and her struggles in the years to come. Kubrick, however, had already taken note of Lyon's earlier work on The Loretta Young Show. He believed her unique combination of youthful innocence and mature features made her ideal for the role. While Lyon was older than Nabokov's original character, casting her as a teenager allowed Kubrick to sidestep censorship concerns. Still, it was evident that Lyon herself was just a child. Her magnetic presence and performance were crucial to the film's success, making Lolita a box office hit. However, the role cast a shadow over Lyon's life, intertwining her public image with its controversial themes and shaping her career in ways she could never fully escape. Unfortunately, she was unable to join her castmates in celebrating the success of the film because she was only 16 years old when Lolita premiered in New York in June 1962. At such a young age, she wasn't allowed to watch the movie herself, though she could read the reviews. American journalist and critic Bosley Crowther wrote a largely positive review, focusing much of his praise on her performance. Similarly, Variety lauded her work in their review. With just her third acting credit to her name, Sue Lyon was catapulted into a whirlwind of fame, fueled not only by glowing critical reviews, but also by the public's intense and sometimes inappropriate fascination with her. Her captivating portrayal of Lolita earned her the Most Promising Female Newcomer Award at the 1963 Golden Globes, an exceptional achievement for someone debuting in a major feature film. Critics marveled at her ability to balance innocence and complexity, while fans couldn't get enough of the young starlet who seemed to embody the film's controversial themes. Yet behind the accolades and public adoration, Lyon faced an emotional burden that few could understand. Despite her success, she quietly longed to distance herself from the role that had defined her so early in her career. Once filming wrapped, she was ready to move forward. However, her aspirations were curtailed by a 7-year contract with producer James B. Harris and the production company, binding her career to the very project she wished to leave behind. This professional limitation was compounded by deeper, more personal struggles. The early loss of her father had left Lyon yearning for a protective, guiding male figure in her life. As her fame grew, so too did this emotional void, often drawing her toward relationships with older, controlling men, each of whom she hoped would provide the stability and security she had lost as a child. Tragically, this pursuit often led to disappointment and heartbreak. While working on a follow-up film, Lyon reportedly confided in a close friend about her struggles with fame, expressing that she felt like she was trapped in the shadow of Lolita. Even her attempts to forge new creative paths were hindered by the public's fixation on her breakout role. Producers continued to pitch projects to her that mirrored the provocative themes of Lolita, frustrating her attempts to redefine her image. Her 7-year contract, while offering her stability on paper, also became a creative cage. Harris and his team, recognizing the commercial potential of her Lolita persona, pushed her toward roles that capitalized on her image as the youthful seductress. Lyon, however, resisted these efforts, yearning to take on more mature and diverse characters that could showcase her range as an actress. Sue Lyon often confided in her friends about feeling trapped by her role in Lolita, a persona she believed she could never escape. A close friend revealed that Lyon experienced extended periods of depression, particularly after struggling to rebuild her career following her early peak of fame. She always felt defined by her past, the friend shared. This lingering sense of entrapment influenced many of her personal decisions, including her frequent pursuit of relationships as a way to find solace and stability. Privately, Lyon began to grapple with feelings of isolation. Fame had thrust her into a world where she was both celebrated and scrutinized, and she found it increasingly difficult to trust those around her. Friends recalled how she often expressed nostalgia for the simplicity of her pre-Hollywood life, reminiscing about quiet moments spent modeling or dreaming of a life far removed from the demands of stardom. Despite these challenges, Lyon continued to pursue her craft with determination, taking on roles in films like The Night of the Iguana. While her performances garnered praise, she struggled to escape the shadow of Lolita. Audiences and critics alike seemed unable or unwilling to separate her from the character that had made her a star, further complicating her professional trajectory. During the filming of The Night of the Iguana, Sue Lyon was often seen sitting quietly between takes, scribbling in a leather-bound notebook she carried everywhere. Many assumed she was jotting down lines or notes about her scenes, but her co-star Deborah Kerr once revealed that Sue had been writing letters to herself. "She told me it was her way of sorting through her emotions," Kerr recalled in an interview years later. Sue was carrying so much weight for someone so young, her fame, her relationships, the scrutiny. Writing those letters was her way of speaking to a version of herself that wasn't in the spotlight. One of those letters, Kerr claimed, was addressed to her younger self. In it, Sue reportedly apologized for not protecting the innocence she felt she had lost after her role in Lolita. Another was a message to her future self, where she vowed to find happiness and stability, no matter how elusive they seemed at the time. Her habit of letter writing wasn't the only thing that set Sue apart on set. John Huston, the film's director, often invited the cast to dinner after long shooting days. Sue, however, rarely joined, preferring instead to spend her evenings exploring the quiet beaches near their filming location. On one such evening, Kerr accompanied her and later recounted how Sue had spoken about feeling out of place in Hollywood. She said, "I'm not sure I belong there, but I don't know where else to go," Kerr said. It was heartbreaking to hear because she was so talented, but fame had already begun to feel like a cage for her. Sue's introspective nature and her search for meaning beyond acting painted a picture of someone who, despite her success, longed for something more profound. Though these quiet moments often went unnoticed, they revealed a side of Sue Lyon few ever saw, a thoughtful, creative soul wrestling with the burdens of early stardom. Sue Lyon often found solace in creative pursuits outside of acting, something few people knew about. During her time off screen, she developed a passion for writing poetry and short stories, often exploring themes of isolation and identity. According to a close friend, Lyon even considered publishing her work under a pseudonym, fearing that her reputation as Lolita might overshadow her efforts as a writer. She wanted people to see her beyond the role she played, but she was too afraid of the inevitable scrutiny, the friend shared. This private outlet allowed her a rare sense of control and expression, even as her public life remained dominated by her controversial past. By the mid-1960s, Lyon had become wary of the very industry that had made her famous. She began to turn down roles that she felt perpetuated her typecasting, even at the risk of alienating powerful producers. In interviews, she spoke candidly about her desire to break free from the constraints of her early fame. "I want people to see me as more than just Lolita," she said in a rare moment of vulnerability, "but I'm not sure they ever will." This internal conflict only deepened as Lyon sought stability in her personal life. Relationships became both a source of solace and a reflection of her struggles. Each new romance seemed to promise the security she craved, yet often ended in disappointment. Still, Lyon persisted, driven by a quiet hope that she could one day rebuild her life on her own terms. Sue Lyon's pursuit of happiness in her personal life was a journey fraught with heartbreak and missteps, culminating in 5 marriages that often seemed doomed from the start. Her first marriage to actor and filmmaker Hampton Fancher set a troubling tone for her future relationships. Even before they met, Fancher had admitted to being captivated by Lyon after seeing Lolita in theaters. At the time, he was in a relationship with another actress, but a promotional spread featuring Lyon quickly shifted his focus. The circumstances of their meeting remain unclear, but by 1963, the two were engaged. Lyon was just 17 years old, still navigating the complexities of fame, while Fancher, nearing 30, had already established himself in the industry. Their significant age gap created an uneven dynamic, with Fancher often assuming a controlling role in their relationship. This imbalance became glaringly apparent when Lyon started working on The Night of the Iguana, her follow-up to Lolita. On set, Fancher's possessiveness escalated. He frequently disrupted production, reportedly causing so much tension that director John Huston had to intervene, eventually banning Fancher from the set. Crew members later described his behavior as overbearing and suffocating, leaving Lyon visibly distressed during filming. While Fancher publicly claimed that Lyon struggled to cope with her newfound fame as a symbol of male desire, he appeared to do little to support her emotionally or professionally. Instead, he often prioritized time with his bohemian friends over nurturing their relationship. The media, quick to pick up on the drama surrounding their marriage, painted a picture of a young actress trapped in an unhappy union. Tabloid headlines speculated on the turbulence in their relationship, while fans expressed disappointment, seeing Lyon's star dim under the weight of personal strife. Many hoped she would find stability, but by 18, barely a year into their marriage, Lyon had had enough. She filed for divorce, citing Fancher's hostility, belligerence, and antagonistic behavior. The divorce brought relief, but also a new set of challenges. Public interest in Lyon's personal life only grew, with fans and media outlets eager for details about her next chapter. Shortly after her split from Fancher, Lyon began dating Scottish singer-songwriter Donovan. This relationship marked a significant departure from her past, as Donovan was much closer to her age and seemingly less controlling. Their romance, however, was brief and largely flew under the radar, garnering little media attention. Friends of Lyon later speculated that the relationship ended due to a devastating personal tragedy, the loss of her older brother James. His death from a drug overdose was a heartbreaking blow, further complicating Lyon's efforts to find happiness. Fans who followed her career and personal life closely expressed mixed reactions to these developments. Some sympathized with her struggles, while others criticized her for seemingly turbulent decisions. The press, meanwhile, continued to frame her life as a cautionary tale of early fame gone awry, adding to the pressure Lyon faced both publicly and privately. Despite her efforts to find love and stability, it seemed as though tragedy and controversy followed her every step. As the youngest of 5 siblings, Sue Lyon was often seen as the baby of her family, a role that came with both affection and the weight of watching her older siblings face their own battles. While she was navigating the complexities of fame, tragedy struck her family in an unforgettable way. Her older brother, James, who had struggled with personal demons for years, was found lifeless in Mexico, the victim of a drug overdose. The circumstances of James's death were devastating. Authorities discovered him in a stolen car, and scrawled in the dust on the dashboard were the words, "Sue, I love you." This final haunting message revealed his deep affection for his younger sister and served as a heartbreaking farewell. The symbolism of the gesture was not lost on Lyon, who reportedly carried the weight of his loss with her for the rest of her life. James's death added yet another layer of pain to Lyon's already challenging existence. Friends close to her recounted how the tragedy seemed to deepen her sense of isolation. At the height of her fame, she was surrounded by fans and media attention, yet she often felt alone, unable to share her grief in a world that expected her to maintain the glamorous persona she had become known for. The media, while quick to report on the tragedy, often failed to show compassion. Headlines about James's overdose circulated widely, but they tended to sensationalize the incident rather than explore the emotional toll it took on Lyon and her family. Fans, meanwhile, expressed sympathy, sending letters and messages of support, though Lyon rarely addressed the incident publicly. In private, James's loss seemed to fuel her search for connection and stability, a recurring theme in her personal life. She often spoke of her longing for a sense of family and security, something that fame and fortune could never provide. The memory of her brother, his struggles, and his tragic end became a shadow that followed her throughout her life, influencing her choices and deepening the emotional complexity behind the public image of Sue Lyon. Despite still being under contract to Kubrick, Lyon managed to secure a 2-picture deal with Italian actor Marcello Mastroianni. However, while driving with him, she was involved in a car accident that injured her knee, preventing her from fulfilling the agreement. Rumors soon swirled that there was another explanation. Kubrick himself had allegedly intervened to block the projects, as Lyon was still bound by her contract with him. Lyon continued to work on films such as 7 Women, The Flim Flam Man, and Tony Rome, but after completing these, her contract with Kubrick finally ended. Without his influence, however, Lyon struggled to maintain her standing in Hollywood. She never starred in another major A-list production. Adding to her challenges, her next decisions further derailed her career. Sue Lyon's romantic life was marked by a string of tumultuous and unconventional relationships that only added to the challenges she faced in her personal and professional life. Following her brief relationships with Furr and Donovan, Lyon shocked many in 1971 when she married photographer and football coach Roland Harrison. While their marriage was already fraught with complications, it drew even greater scrutiny due to the social climate of the time. Harrison, a black man, stood in stark contrast to Lyon's Hollywood image as the all-American girl, with her bleached blonde hair and iconic past as Lolita. Their interracial marriage, though a brave step for both, provoked widespread prejudice in the early 1970s. While progressive audiences admired their courage, the backlash from more conservative circles, including Hollywood producers, was immediate. Many producers avoided casting Lyon, fearing that her personal life might provoke controversy or alienate viewers. The union lasted less than a year, and by 1972, the couple had separated. The end of her marriage left Lyon in a precarious position, a single mother with a tarnished reputation, in an industry that thrived on image. Her dwindling opportunities in Hollywood forced her to take a job as a waitress to make ends meet, a stark contrast to her once bright career. In what many consider her most unconventional relationship, Lyon married Cotton Adamson in 1973. At the time of their wedding, Adamson was serving a 40-year prison sentence for second-degree murder. The ceremony, conducted behind bars, shocked both the public and those close to Lyon. Many speculated that her decision to marry Adamson stemmed from loneliness and a desire for stability, though it was stability in the most unconventional form. The marriage, as expected, did not last long. Within a year, Lyon filed for divorce, citing the irreparable damage it caused to her career. In interviews, she explained how her connection to Adamson had further alienated her from Hollywood. "I've been told by people in the movie business, specifically producers and film distributors, that I can't get a job because I'm married to Cotton," she revealed. By the time the marriage ended, Lyon's reputation had suffered so much that her chances of returning to major motion pictures were nearly non-existent. Despite the failures of her previous relationships, Lyon continued to search for love and stability. In 1983, she married Edward Weathers, but the union was short-lived, ending in divorce by 1984. The brevity of their marriage reflected the ongoing pattern of instability in her personal life. Later that same year, Lyon married engineer Richard Rudman, a relationship that offered a glimmer of hope for long-term happiness. Unlike her earlier unions, her marriage to Rudman lasted 17 years, marking the most stable period of her adult life. During this time, Lyon stepped away from the public eye, focusing on her private life and trying to rebuild the pieces of her identity shattered by fame and personal struggles. Sue Lyon's marriages were emblematic of her larger struggles, a search for connection and security that often led her down challenging paths. Each relationship, whether defined by societal backlash, unconventional choices, or brief moments of solace, revealed the lasting impact of her early fame and the pressures of living under the shadow of Lolita. While her romantic life brought its share of heartbreak, it also underscored the resilience and complexity of a woman who, despite the odds, continued to seek love and meaning in her life. Years later, her only child, Nona Harrison, born during her second marriage to Roland Harrison, shared more insight into Lyon's struggles. Following her mother's death, Nona disclosed that Lyon had suffered from bipolar disorder, a condition that significantly impacted her life. Her health deteriorated further in the years leading to her retirement from acting. By 1980, Lyon made her final on-screen appearance in the low-budget horror film Alligator. After announcing her retirement, she withdrew from public life, effectively disappearing from the spotlight she had once dominated. She spent the rest of her life trying to piece together the fragments of her identity that fame had shattered, but the damage was irreparable. On Boxing Day in 2019, at the age of 73, Sue Lyon passed away. Her family and friends declined to reveal the exact cause of her death, only stating that she had been in poor health for some time. Yet, even in death, her story continued to provoke intrigue and controversy. After Sue Lyon's passing, shocking allegations about her time filming Lolita resurfaced, casting new light on her early years in Hollywood. Central to these revelations was Michelle Phillips, a childhood friend of Lyon's who would later become famous as a member of the iconic pop group the Mamas and the Papas. The two shared a close bond during their teenage years in California, often confiding in each other about their lives and secrets. Years later, Phillips made claims that challenged the narrative Lyon had shared about her experience with Lolita. In a 1962 German television interview, Lyon had stated that she and her mother read Nabokov's novel together after she was cast in the titular role. Phillips, however, alleged this was untrue, claiming that she had introduced Lyon to the controversial themes of the book a year before her audition. This revelation reshaped the public perception of Lyon's preparation for the role, adding complexity to her already scrutinized life. In 2020, Phillips further deepened the controversy by revealing a startling claim to journalist Sarah Weinman. She alleged that James B. Harris, the film's producer, had become emotionally involved with Lyon during her time in England for the Lolita shoot, and had been her first lover when she was just 14 years old. At the time, Harris was nearly 18 years older than Lyon, married, and operating in a legal environment where the age of consent was 16 in the UK and 18 in Lyon's home state of California. When contacted for comment, the now 92-year-old Harris declined to either confirm or deny the allegations. The revelation not only raised questions about the dynamics on the set of Lolita, but also cast a shadow over the film's production, leaving fans and critics to reevaluate the circumstances surrounding Lyon's early stardom. Thank you for watching. Sue Lyon's life remains a haunting reminder of the pressures and pitfalls of early fame. Her story is both a cautionary tale and a testament to the resilience it takes to survive in the harsh world of Hollywood. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the lives of iconic figures. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about Sue Lyon's legacy and the impact of her groundbreaking role in Lolita? Until next time.